If we ask you to name one American family that really represents what it means to be American, you'll probably say the Obamas. But most people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. All eyes have been on Barack Obama since he moved into the White House as President of the United States. Along with that, a lot of people are now interested in his personal life. Lots of people like the Obamas. Very much because of the bond they have with each other, she has been an inspiration to many with her message of hope, family values, and coming together as one. An even bigger reason why people love her is what she has done for schooling, fighting poverty, and human rights. The two beautiful daughters of Barack and Michelle are Malia and Sasha. We all saw them as kids. This story has a whole new beginning now that the girls are adults. Not long ago, one of Michelle Obama's children told some shocking facts about the family. To be honest, nobody saw that coming. For people who have followed the Obamas for years, this is a big surprise. It also shows the world a side of the family that not many people know about. What are these Obama family secrets and how do they change how we see them? That's what this movie is all about. First, let's talk about Obama's daughter and the lies they keep. Barack Obama served as a state senator in Chicago before becoming president of the United States. He lived there with his wife Michelle after they got married on October 3rd, 1992. The pair had their first child after being married for 6 years. She was born on July 4th, 1998. Barack often says nice things about his daughter Malia and how proud he is of her. Sasha is Malia's younger sister, who was born on June 10th, 2001. The family chose to move from Chicago to Washington, D.C. in 2009. That was the year who Obama became president. We understand why the kids didn't like this move. It's hard for anyone, even adults, to leave the city where they've lived for years and made friends as a child and move to a different city. Because of this, it made sense that Sasha and Malia weren't too excited about it. It's only change that stays the same. Malia and Sasha took a while to get used to their new home after they got to the White House. Sasha was only 8 years old and Malia was 10 years old. Trump was president of the United States for 8 long years. Also, Malia and Sasha lived in the White House at this time. That's where they went to school. Michelle said that the girls are doing great in an interview in 2011 and having a normal, healthy life. Barack said that the girls are very close and that he is glad to see them growing up. Michelle also talked about what she thought after she had a child. She said that the way they raise their kids has changed as Malia and Sasha have grown up. She went from being mom-in-chief to being chief assistant. Michelle is very happy because Malia and Sasha have found their own paths in life. It's interesting to see how these girls grew up with all the attention because of their activity and the fact that the Secret Services follow them around even when they're on a date. Now let's talk more about what Malia and Sasha did. Barack and Michelle Obama's oldest child is Malia. She was born in Chicago on July 4th, 1998. Barack and Michelle Obama often say that she is smart and kind. Malia loved getting keychains and going to acting class when she was younger. She knew how to set an alarm and make her bed by the time she was in the first grade. For a child that age and from such a wealthy family, that is not something that often happens. From the time she was a child, Maria felt like she was getting along with everyone. Hat was clear from a story Barack Obama told. As Malia and her dad walked by the lake when she was 6 years old, she asked him a question. Malia asked her dad if they had a lot of money. If you compare them to most people, they're pretty good off, but not rich. Obama told Malia that was fine because she doesn't want to be rich and live an easy life. That answer surprised Obama, just like it does you right now. Because Malia grew up, she became someone who loved life and talking to other people. Obama says Malia is very lucky because she never gets bored. Isn't that a great trait? Do you think the president's daughter goes to the prom or hangs out with friends like everyone else? Yes, of course. Malia went through normal teen things. In 2014, as a junior, she went to prom. A jokey Obama says that if she had a date, it's secret information, but he was shocked to see his little girl all dressed up and in heels. When Malia graduated from high school in 2016, she went to Harvard, but before that, she took a year off. She got her degree from Harvard in 2021. Their dad says that both girls were so excited to get their own places and begin their own lives. Malia worked in the TV business while she was taking a break and while she was in college. That had always interested her. That led her to work as an intern for Lena Dunham's Girls and for the Weinstein Company. Then she went on to work as a production assistant on the sci-fi show Extant. Malia also worked as a writer for the Amazon show Swarm not long ago. Janine Neighbors, who helped make the show, likes the work Malia did. Malia isn't just good at writing, she's also tried her hand at working behind the camera. The Heart is the name of the movie she wrote and directed. It was shown at the Sundance Film Festival in 2024. This is an interesting fact. Malia didn't use her real name when she wrote and directed the movie. She went by the name Malia Ann instead, in the movie The Heart. A son who has lost his mother finds something shocking in her will after she dies. The movie wants to move people by showing how real life is when someone you care about dies. It's mostly about being alone, forgiving others, and feeling bad about things you did in the past. While you're thinking about all of that, it's also important to find funny times and comfort in your hard feelings. Malia wrote and directed this movie with one goal in mind. It was meant to hit home with the crowd and show them they're not alone. The First Lady isn't afraid to show how much she loves and respects her children. She talks very highly of her girls and says they are very close, but she doesn't respect their privacy. She has told a few stories about Malia and Sasha, but not too many because she doesn't want to give away too many private information about them. Let's learn more about Sasha Obama, the younger daughter of Barack and Michelle Obama. He or she was born in Chicago on June 10, 2001. She liked sports as a child. Sasha did some basketball. She did tap dancing and gymnastics too. Besides that, she spent time with her sister playing tennis and taking piano lessons. When the girls were young, they lived in a laid-back place with only one rule: they couldn't complain or whine. Suzanne Robinson, Michelle's mom, was living with them in Chicago. She knew who Sasha and Malia were when they were kids. Marion says that Sasha is more like Michelle, her mother. She works hard, is motivated, and has a strong mind. Craig, Michelle's brother, is a more grown person than Malia. That means Malia cared about keeping the peace and would do anything to do so. Sasha's father said that she isn't afraid to say what she wants. If Sasha has an opinion about something, she will say it loud and clear. When she talks to someone, it doesn't matter what their status or title is. Sasha will tell you what is right and wrong. What do you think about this about her? Please let us know in the comments. The Obamas have always said nice things about their smart and kind daughter Sasha. She is also known for having a good sense of humor. Barack says she's always funny and full of energy for the family. Some people make fun of Sasha, but not in a bad way. They make fun of her dad. The family has a lot of fun making fun of their dad. Even Barack himself said that. He said that most of the jokes are about him. For instance, if Barack says a word wrong, like the name of a singer the girls like, that means he's going to be teased. Maisie Biden is one of Sasha's close friends, which will surprise you. First Lady Joe Biden's granddaughter. They played hoops together as kids and were best friends. Their team was called the Vipers. Barack says that both girls talked about being in charge of their 4th grade basketball team. Sasha and Maisie both went to Washington D.C. Sidwell Friends School. After high school, Sasha got into the University of Michigan in 2019. Soon after, COVID-19 broke out, so she had to take classes online and spend most of her time with her family. Barack says that even though it must have been snug for his daughter, it was a real blessing for him and Michelle. The family had a great time. Barack remembers that they used to play games, watch movies, and eat dinner together every night. Sasha and Malia have both moved out and are now living together in Los Angeles. That they have a special bond with each other is clear from this. As a fun fact, Barack and Michelle first learned that the girls were going to move in together from an interview they did in November 2022. Their mother was very happy that they were going to live together. Michelle said that Sasha and Malia have made their room feel like home. Hey, that was fun. They did all of that on a budget, nothing fancy. Both girls asked their parents to come over for drinks before dinner. But Michelle joked that they could get better at making cocktails, especially martinis, even though everything else was great. That same year, 2023, Sasha graduated from the University of Southern California. When we talked about Sasha, did you know that she was very sick? Barack Obama had to deal with a lot of problems as president, but nothing could have prepared him for what happened to his baby daughter Sasha. Malia is now 25 years old and Sasha is 22 years old. They are both fit now, but Sasha was told she had meningitis when she was 3 months old. Inflammation of the tissue around your brain or spine is a disease that can kill you. Barack broke down in tears while running for office in 2012 when he thought about what was happening to his daughter. He was having the worst time of his life when Sasha had to go to the hospital for a spine tap, which is also called a lumbar puncture. Obama praised the doctors for their work, but he was especially thankful for the nurses who took care of Sasha 24 hours a day. Michelle also remembers that day very well. She says that Sasha was fine and happy 1 minute, but an hour later she was in so much pain and crying out loud. That wasn't something Sasha had done before. Michelle did everything she could to help her, but she had to call a pediatrician. The pediatrician told her to get medical help right away. Sasha was taken to the hospital, where she was diagnosed with meningitis. Michelle says that they were lucky to get medical help right away, because things could have gone badly without it. God's grace helped Sasha get better, and the Obama family is thankful for that every day. Let's keep another family secret from each other. Many women are afraid to talk about they can't have children or have had a miscarriage. It makes sense, since that is a very private matter. It was the same for Michelle Obama. She found it hard to talk about her loss. Michelle says getting pregnant wasn't easy. Also, she had a miscarriage with her first child after trying so hard. That broke my heart. She didn't know how normal it was to feel lost and alone. She didn't know about it because no one talked about it. A lot more women have miscarriages than we think. There is a number that says 10 to 25% of births end in miscarriage. It's a shame, but this is true. A lot of women feel lost and alone, and they blame themselves for it, which is not fair. Some women even think it could have been stopped, but Michelle Obama says that's not true either. It can be dangerous for women who don't tell the truth about their bodies, but she also says that they should. Michelle didn't give up after she had a loss. In the end, the pair had to use IVF, which stands for in vitro fertilization. She also talked about the biological clock and how women can have trouble having babies when they are in their mid-30s or older because their bodies stop making eggs as they get older. A lot of people are learning about things because powerful people like Michelle are being honest like this. Putting her private things out in the open showed that she really wanted to help other women in the same bad position. Now let's read the next story. It's clear that Barack and Michelle are proud of their girls, but they recently told us a secret about life in the White House. They said that they had worked very hard to make their home a loving and safe place for their family. Someone asked Barack about his girls while he was in Los Angeles at a fundraiser for Joe Biden. The reporter asked Malia and Sasha if they were going to run for office. Barack smiled and answered right away, without any pause at all. He said that he and his wife Michelle had already told their children that they shouldn't go into politics. In fact, he said it was crazy and that getting into politics would be crazy. As a dad, he doesn't want his girls to become like their dad. He also said that he was already proud of his girls. He said that they were strong young women now. What life is like for the Obamas. Michelle Obama recently talked to Melinda Gates about how her family's life changed after they left the White House and the pressure of trying to be perfect. It wasn't easy, especially the emotional change from living like a king in the presidential home to living like everyone else and doing normal things. Michelle talked about the hard times she was going through and how free she felt after leaving the White House. As Michelle talked about her life, she said that she always felt like she had to show something because she was a woman, a person of color, and from a working-class family. She had to fight the feeling of not being good enough every single day. Michelle agrees that I should fight the thought that I'm not good enough. Michelle says that her home hasn't been making her feel this way. She has always had a safe and supportive place to be at home with her family. The outside world isn't like that, though. It is not at all the same. When it came to leaving the White House, Michelle says it was very strange to take their last helicopter ride on Air Force One to leave the White House. The family went to Palm Springs after their last chopper ride. They thought of that trip as just a break at the time. A break like the ones they'd had 1,000 times before. But it hit them when they walked into their new house. They knew it was real, and Michelle says it was weird. It wasn't easy getting used to this life. They didn't have to drive or worry about their safety because they were in the White House. When they drove down the street in their new home, it felt strange even though the Secret Service was still watching over them. They could invite friends or anyone else they want for the first time in years. They never heard a bell while they were in the White House, so when the doorbell rang, it scared all of the dogs. The Obama family went through a big change when they went back to a normal life. It made them understand how limited their life was while they were living in the White House.